So you guys were I'm hearing a lot of you guys wanted a theme song short, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that, and when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So, it's shorter. There you go. CrazyCatLady or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair educational for and entertainment purpose. Blade, looks like it's all they did. Well, those years ago. See? No, I don't want to do any more of it. Alright, yesterday I went to the theaters. Last month I wanted to pick between a clown and a robot, and I went with the clown. That did not go so well. Let me fix this, actually. And so that movie was not, Joker was not so good. Joker 2 was not so good. This month, there's two choices. I'm not really into, even though I'm a big Lion King fan, maybe if this one was animated, I would have gone and seen it. Since it wasn't, looked like the live action one. I didn't, and went with the hedgehog, and looks like the hedgehog is beating Mufasa in the United States. It just now opened to worldwide, so we'll find out next when I watch that charting show, see how well it does. But I'm guessing that the hedgehog beat the lion. So this movie was really good. Cappy, I went with this choice a lot. It was a lot of fun. The guy who plays Sonic in this movie still got it. We still got, I think every single one of the characters are not really there, like Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, Shadow. They all did a great job. Yep, Keanu Reeves did a great job being badass, and this is coming from somebody who's only watched the first John Wick movie. So, yeah, I think it was good. Let's get on with the story and tell you guys some of the jokes. So, spoiler time. So the movie begins with two guards, keep an eye on Shadow, and looks like Robotnik's grandpa breaks out Shadow, and he ends up breaking out and teleporting all around all the guards, either killing them or knocking them out. It's hard to tell. They don't get it back up, so probably he killed them. And he goes in the water and goes to Tokyo. Yay, Tokyo. And now we're back to Sonic's family. They're about to do a race, and it's like the anniversary date when Sonic came to Earth, so it's his Earth Day. So they trick him in thinking that they're gonna do a race, and by the time he gets back, they're setting up the surprise party, and he likes it. Then they get interrupted by Jessica Jones. Yes, the actress from Jessica Jones is in this movie. She's not playing Jessica Jones, but I don't know who she is in this movie, so sorry, I have to call her that. And tells them what's going on about Shadow, and they go and jump out of a helicopter in order to stop him. Looks like all of them cannot stop him because Knuckles gets his arm broken and gets beat up pretty badly. Poor Tails didn't stand a chance, and Sonic tries to beat him, but it did not work. I think out of all of them, I think Knuckles did get the worst beat up since he got his arm broken. And he gets on then Shadow gets on a motorcycle and grabs one of the guns and leaves and tells Sonic not to follow him. Does Sonic listen? No. And gets beat up even more, and yep, that part was pretty good. And yep, I like that part. So Tails goes to gets beaten. They go to this Tokyo place that has like a Chuck E. Cheese version of some characters in Sonic, I guess. I don't know. This is coming from a very, very casual Sonic fan. So I don't know who these characters are, but I was told by a more into Sonic person who actually plays some of the games, know the stuff. So he said that these guys are another game, so I don't know what's one. And some kids called Tails Pikachu. Detective Pikachu, like, he does not look like Pikachu, but okay. Call him, like, he looks, if you want to compare him to Pokemon, compare it to him like a yellow one. I don't know, let's see, one of the Eevees would work, or Vulpix, okay? At least, because they're both tails that will foxes with multiple tails. So yeah, that's what I would say. But anyway, the leader gun comes to tell them about Shadow's story and see how it's a little bit similar to Sonic, except for really, really bad. Instead of where his human survives and is more like a dad figure to him, Maria ends up getting killed, and her grandfather gets put in jail for trying to escape with Shadow, and Maria gets hit by one of the gun's weapons and dies. So that's what happens in this story. I don't know how faithful it is to the games, but this is what happened in this movie. I think it's still sad, even if it's not totally accurate, but nothing ever is totally accurate. And right after this, the grandfather was gonna attack Sonic and his friends, but looks like Stone came and interrupted the fight in order to clear Ivo's name from Sonic's thing, and he follows Stone, and we find out it is Stone because he's like dressed weird, had the helmet on that disguise who he is, and we see like a robot crab right behind them, and they go inside the crab, and man, Ivo, Eggman, you let yourself go. It's basically Jim Carrey joined being fat. It's like the first time he's wore a fat suit, but okay. But I think every single movie he looks more and more like Robotnik, and I think we're finally there where he looks 100% like Eggman, okay? But we still got him beating Jim Carrey-ness, and we got two Jim Carrey-ness. I know when he's doing this voice, this reminds me of him when he did the Scrooge and the other Disney version of Christmas Carol. That's what kind of reminded me of him doing that voice. So yeah, that's what the grandfather or Robotnik remind me of. So they go to they follow the coordinates to where Shadow and Grandpa Robotnik are at. Shadow captures Sonic and the others, and Grandpa Robotnik convinces Ivo to join him because he wants to. I think he pretty much convinces him that they're going to rule the world together. But by the end of the movie, we find out that's not true, and they end up working together to go and get another key, because Sonic had a key, so they had to grab that key in order to get into get the other key, which is Grandfather's Robotnik weapon that he's going to use to destroy the world, but Ivo does not know that, and so he's falling right into his trap because he needs his help in order to get the other key. Now I do like the little little montage of those two together, like waking up for lost times by doing virtually, I guess, or VRly, and Stone's getting jealous because he's realizing that he's kind of being replaced by a family member, and just walks away. But okay, not like Robotnik was ever nice to you, Stone, but okay. And then Sonic ends up escaping from the rings from a black hole thing that Shadow left behind to destroy them by using one of the rings they have. And they go and tell Tom and his wife, I forget what's going on, and they end up having them help them. I'm happy they're not in this movie that much, but they're still in it because I guess they're still in here obligation. But yeah, mostly they were so bored just making stuff from donuts since he's supposed to be the donut lord, and so they were so happy to go with them to help them solve this. So they're going to London, and we have two jokes and so far that Sonic does I like. They reference when Shadow beats him up, he says 1.1 gigawatts. So we got a Back to the Future reference right there. And later on in this movie, we got a Beatles reference to the Abbey Road. Now, he says it really fast. She might mistake what he says. So, actually, what he says, because since it happened so fast in the movie theater, I had to look up what the album looks like to see who shows up first. The album has John, Ringo, has George, Ringo, Paul, and John in a row. And what he says, since he says it really fast, you have to think about it afterwards, make sure you got it right, or rewind. But you can't do that in movie theater. So I had to do this and look up what the album looks like. So this is what he said. He said George, Ringo, Paul, and the other one. So the other one is John. We misheard because it happened so fast. One of the people I went with thought that they've left out Ringo's name, so I'm gonna have to tell her next time I see her that what it is, since I looked up the album picture for pictures during this review. Maybe that might ruin the joke for you since I kind of explained it, but I had to in order to pretty much say what I like about that. I just like when they do reference stuff that from older generations since. So yeah, can have fun with this movie. But I still loved it, even though these jokes were not in here. But these two jokes do make the movie much better. So much better. And so what the plan is that Tails comes up with is to break through the shield by hacking into it, by having Tom and his wife break in there, pretending to be the actual agent and Tom's wife's sister, and get in that way, and have the sister be really, really mean, like she usually is. So that way these actors still get to be in the movie even though it's not really them. And pretty much scared the guards can let them in because they're not supposed to let that agent in, but yeah. So they get in that way, but still looks like Sonic, it looks like Shadow and Robotnik get in there still, because we see once they put the chip in there for Tails, we see another chip in there that looks like a Robotnik's symbol from the games. And we also got to see them do some weird dance with their things that stopped them from getting hurt by the laser beams that are meant to kill you. But that part was pretty funny. I think Jim Carrey is having a lot of fun in this movie. And I don't really have that. A lot of times when he's having this much fun, I really don't care for it. But it depends on the movie. If it's warranted in the movie, it's fine. And this movie is warranted. So yeah. So I didn't mind it. I don't know how much more of this we're going to get from him. So yeah, I'm just going to keep on warring it. Because how old he is now. And pretty much that he kind of came on retirement for this movie. So yeah. For only 2 years. But yeah. Still. So after we have our fight with Sonic goes down there and does the Beatles joke and gets in with a little bit of Tails, and we have another fight with Shadow, and Tom ends up, looks like the Jessica Jones character in this movie. She ends up coming back and putting everybody either into a lockdown where you either go up in the air or you're slammed down to the ground in order to stop them from getting the chips so nothing bad actually happens. Eventually, Tails breaks in with Knuckles, and everybody ends up being slammed down to the ground, even her. And so they're all trying to get the Robotnik. Ivo's trying to get to the chip, and so is she, by slithering, because they're both slammed down to the ground. So is Chip, and Sonic and Shadow are fighting in the air. And eventually they Sonic ends up saving Tom and his wife from getting hit by a bunch of metal about to hit them. And so Sonic hits that by going his round part and says Sonic 1, Concrete 0. And it ends up, looks like Jessica ends up getting it. I know I keep calling her about that. Let's ignore it. So Tom gets an idea, which works but doesn't work. He goes after her, transforms into her boss, who's supposed to be dead because we saw him die from the grandfather's Robotnik's robots. But he's here fine. And she ends up Tom ends up tricking her to give him the chip. Then Shadow sees him and knocks him out. We think that he killed him. So does Sonic. So Sonic does something he's not supposed to. He goes and grabs the emerald in order to turn into Super Sonic, even though Knuckles and Tails tells him not to, because it's too dangerous, but he still does it. And we get to see the only since this is probably getting filled the same exact time as that Knuckles show. This is the only time we get to see Wade in this movie. And that Knuckles show's not, I know I said earlier, I didn't really mind it, but I just didn't. It mostly was not Knuckles' show. It was mostly Wade's show. So I can understand why why a lot of people don't like it. So in this movie, compared to this movie, that show sucks. So yeah, this is me admitting it. So yeah. But he is taking the emerald, and really, Knuckles, did you really think that Wade could beat Sonic, a regular human? Really? You should have put a better guard on that. But anyway, and he ends up using it to fight Shadow and ends up going up there to where Grandfather Robotnik is, and we find out that he does not want to rule the planet. He wants to destroy it because what the planet did to Maria. And so does Shadow. But Shadow is a little bit inflicted about it. Ivo learns the truth, and maybe he should have listened to Stone. But yeah, because before this happened, he kind of told Ivo, told Stone that he is fired in a way, pretty much. And this is when Sonic comes up with there being Super Sonic, and Shadow and him do fight, and eventually Shadow ends up becoming Super Shadow, but since he looks like a different color, Sonic, I did call him a different thing in the theaters. So I call him like Ultra Instinct Shadow, but because he looks white. But okay, I guess he's Super Shadow. And they end up fighting. Eventually, Sonic does end up defeating him. Shadow tells him, asks him, "Are you really here? Even though you're supposed to be listening to your friends and not do this? Where are your friends?" And he points at his heart, just like Tom did at the beginning of this movie, and just like Maria did at the beginning of this movie to Shadow. Well, and knocks Sonic out of this revenge thing, and realizes what he's doing is wrong, because revenge is never the answer. Never. Even after revenge is done, you're still alone. That person who died is still dead, but you just stoop to that person's level who killed your friend. So that it's never the right thing to do. So yeah, that's that's what Sonic really realized, and he's trying to get Shadow to realize this, and because he looks up at the stars like he did with Maria, and Sonic says, "I miss Longclaw," who was his owl mom, and Shadow asks Sonic, does this pain ever go away? And he says, "No, but just remember Maria the way that she was." So they go together to stop Grandfather Robotnik and this is when Tails and Knuckles comes to save Ivo, because Ivo gets thrown out of almost gets killed by the grandfather, because he tries to stop his grandpa, because he wants to rule the world, not destroy it, and he can't rule it if it's gone. And he did, so they end up beating the grandpa and taking over his ship, but he still pushed the button before it happened. And so Sonic and Shadows had to defeat a bunch of Grandfather Robotnik's robots and hold back a laser from hitting Earth, while Ivo, Knuckles, and Tails moves the laser away from the Earth, and it ends up hitting the moon. It slices the moon in half, so we no longer have a moon. And then they end up leaving. But Shadow and Robot and Ivo have to move the weapon away from the Earth, otherwise that's going to destroy the Earth. So they end up working together, and now we know by the end of the credits scene that Shadow's still alive, but I'm pretty sure they would not kill Robotnik. Maybe they'll kill the grandfather Robotnik, but not the actual Robotnik. No way. No way they're gonna not say, oh, by the way, we said there's a fourth movie, but there's not going to be Robotnik in it. No way. Because they already, since how well this movie has done already, they already have said there is going to be a fourth movie. And by the end of the credit scene, we do have two end credit scenes. We find out that Tom is fine. He's just injured for what Shadow did to him. And they do the race, and Sonic does win. But there is the robot Sonic attack him, and we see Amy, and Amy beats him up and saves Sonic. So we're gonna have the robot Sonics and Amy in the fourth movie, and the next end credit scene is Shadow surviving moving the weapon away. So I did like this movie. It's rare I do this, guys. It's very rare I do this, but I don't really see anything wrong with this movie in my take. But so even though I'm a very, very casual Sonic fan, but I really still enjoyed myself. I laughed a lot, and I know I am one of those people who talk during the theater, but because somebody with me who knows even less about Sonic than me, so I had to explain her some stuff. So yeah, but yeah, it was still fun, and I did like the fact that the credit scene showed my Sonic where they look like they're supposed to, with all the blockies from Sega. Not where he's so skinny and linear like he is now. So yeah. But like I said, I rarely do this. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. And I'm not gonna put a what if episode with this, because this review is already long enough. So what I'm gonna do with that, I'm probably gonna combine both of those what ifs episodes together. So yeah, the two-parter one, because there is gonna be a episode tomorrow's episode does have where the finale happens. So yeah, so I'll see you guys later. Get me up to 900 subscribers by the end of the year, please. I really would like that. If so like, favorite, and subscribe, guys, and bye bye.